Please remember, while Fuller House is a family show, the Fullest House podcast is not. Therefore, listener discretion is advised. Konishi, what's up, Fullest House listeners? I'm Harrison.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Mark.
So that was...
And we hate that intro just as much as you guys do.
But we're sticking with it. We're committing.
It's...
Yeah.
Yeah, we jumped the gun a little bit because we saw the title and we assumed this would be the episode where we really had to ask the question, is that racist? But not quite
Everyone's
yet.
favorite game show.
Our favorite game show.
Not quite yet.
Not quite yet. Yeah, but get ready for some racism.
That's a bit of a teaser for next episode. I don't know why we're starting this episode with a teaser for next episode.
You know what, Tyler, cut that and move it to sort of the end of this episode. It'll be a Marvel style end credit scene.
Yes.
Or
we need.
hear me out. Put it in like the middle of the podcast, but like randomly. So it like cuts one of us off mid-sentence with a trailer for next week's episode.
I so want you to cut off Zach as he was explaining that with the...
It's just like a never-ending loop where it starts over and over and over again.
So mid-sentence, is that racist? We're doing well. We're doing well, you guys. This is a good episode.
Yeah, we're doing great. Anyways, here's how this episode starts. Mark, do you want to take it?
Yeah, sure. That was such a subtle transition.
You're the one with the notes.
Yeah, I'm the one with the notes.
You're the one with the notes.
I usually started out of necessity, but we usually get off track a little longer. But yeah. Guys, as we maybe hinted, they are leaving for Japan. Everybody's packing. Max is packed all nicely, and DJ's checking everything, and she says to our good boy J Money, "Have you packed yet?" And I said out loud, "Oh, he has his stuff in a sack." And I wasn't even giving him, I was giving him too much credit.
He has everything in a trash bag.
Yeah, he pulls out a trash bag with dirty laundry from behind the couch.
I would have appreciated a hobo bindle, but the trash bag was also delightful.
Yeah. Are they going to let J Money take a trash bag full of dirty clothes on a plane? I guess so. There's nothing wrong with it or illegal about it. I just feel like it's.
I mean, it's never really explained because J Money kind of has this one scene and then doesn't show up for the rest of the episode.
This is not a J Money heavy episode.
Yeah, which immediately makes it worse.
Yeah.
We love our sad boy, but I think it's actually a little exciting because now sad boy of the week is anybody's game.
That's true.
J Money really was pulling ahead in the sad boy leaderboard. I have this in front of me as we record all the time. He's like 3 above everybody else.
Holy crap.
He's pulling ahead.
Yeah, we need to even the odds a bit.
Well, we had a feeling when we started out, it wasn't going how we thought. Steph was winning a lot, and that was completely...
Macy Gray was on the board. That was a shocker.
Macy Gray was on the board. It's just some real upsets, but we had a feeling that as time went on, things would shake out more or less how we thought they would.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, just full garbage bag, which... Do you think, like, he must have luggage. DJ must have gotten him luggage at some point.
Oh, he definitely has it. He just didn't think of it or does not care at all.
Yeah, I think my theory is he didn't think of it because he's just... Here's my read on J Money. He does care deeply about things, but he's just such a dummy.
yeah, that's...
Oh,
yes.
yeah. We love our sad boy.
Sad boy.
But so Max helps him pack, and Max has organized everything in terms of itinerary, weather, day. He's set until...
Max is set.
And then he helps J Money with his laundry.
J Money does not know how to do his laundry. Of course he doesn't.
Yeah.
And then we go over to Steph and Kimmy. Kimmy is laying out what's going to be expected of Steph as her assistant at Gibbler-style party planning, which is Steph's duties in Japan will include carrying Kimmy's bags, serving Kimmy tea, always calling her ma'am, which I think is a weird duty, but like more like a stipulation. You know, you must call me ma'am at least once an hour under threat of punishment. That would be cool. That would be cool if you could give yourself a nickname, but like enforce it.
That would be. People would be so power hungry. Oh, we'd kill the world with that.
I'm imagining like J Money is like, call me J Money, and if you don't, I have a gun.
Hey guys, my name is Turbo Jeff, and you're gonna call me that, or else we're not friends anymore.
Harrison, are you down for this bit of calling Mark Turbo Jeff for the entire rest of this episode?
Yes. Turbo
Okay,
Jeff,
cool.
Are you into it? It doesn't matter because we're gonna do it anyway.
We're doing it. I don't care. You brought this upon
I'm
yourself.
halfway into it. Yeah, I'm. Let's do it. Let's do it. It's an episode.
You said it, Turbo Jeff.
You know what they say, Turbo Jeff. He's everybody's friend.
Yeah. Speaking of one guy who's not Turbo Jeff, this is Bobby Popko, fella.
Bobby Popko.
I did like a thumbs down motion.
Boo.
And a fun little IMDb trivia here, which isn't really a fun fact. It's just I thought this was really funny when scrolling through IMDb. So for some characters, like more specifically Matt and Popko, the IMDb trivia loves to list, this is like, oh, this is like the 12th appearance of Dr. Harmon. So for this one, it says Popko's 6th appearance in the series. And then you scroll down a little bit further in the IMDb trivia, and it says, correction, Popko's 7th appearance in the series.
Okay, because that
I just thought that was funny.
that felt low. Popko makes such an impression.
I don't know.
It feels.
I just thought it was funny.
No, it is good. I'm just saying, like, you say that, and I'm like, 6, even 7. I'm like, that feels so low. I feel like every time he's on screen, it's like 50 years.
He takes the years off of us.
Also, you think Popko just like has a really intense following
In the real world?
in the real world? Like, someone has to keep track of all this. So, like, do you think someone's just really into Popko?
Yes.
I'm
100%.
sure there's got to be like some kind of fan page. If you run a Bobby Popko fan page, reach out to us at Fullest House Pod.
We need some advice on how to start our Fernando fan page.
Yes. Well, technically, it is part Fernando fan page.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well, this is a podcast. It's not so much a page.
well, our social media pages.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Which you should follow at Fullest House Pod.
Yep.
That's our shameless plug.
We're on
We'll do
Facebook,
it again
Twitter,
at
and
the end of the
Instagram.
episode.
We will do it again. But yeah, follow us. Give us a follow. Engage with the content.
Give us a like, share, subscribe, donate to our Patreon that we don't have.
Yeah, we're not.
Give us money.
We're not asking for anything but your love.
Yeah.
And money. Mostly the love, but also like kind of the money. We need
Well,
to
I
pay.
was joking because we don't have a Patreon, Zach, so we're not asking for money. We're just asking for love.
Stream us on Spotify so we can get ad revenue.
Please do. I'm not saying I don't want money. I'm just saying, we're just this is what we're putting out into the world.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one person who's kind of into Popko is Ramona.
You're right.
Yes.
She is into him.
She's gonna miss him, and he gives her such a lovely poem, which I did make a note of what the poem is.
Would you like to recite
Turbo
it?
Jeff.
Yeah.
Please give us a dramatic reading, Turbo Jeff.
Please recite it in your best slam poetry voice.
Dear Ramona, I love your brown eyes, and your teeth are like pearls. While you're away, can I see other girls?
Those were our slam poetry snaps. Good job, Turbo Jeff. That was
Thank
a
you.
wonderful reading.
Thank you. You know what they say, Turbo Jeff puts us all into
Turbo
it.
Jeff.
I'm gonna start referring to myself in the third person with the name Turbo Jeff, I guess.
I mean, with a name like Turbo Jeff, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you got a name like, I don't know, I'm just gonna, like, say a random name, like Mark, for instance, like, I don't know. But, like, Turbo Jeff, that's what's up.
Mark's a real piece of shit, I must say, as Turbo Jeff.
Like, Harrison, could you ever imagine us having a friend named Mark?
I know, it's sickening.
Good one, guys.
So,
Anyway,
Popko reads the poem Turbo Jeff just recited, and she is not having it, because of course she's not.
No. Which he explains, to be fair, to express his side.
Yeah.
He's gonna miss her. He needs company.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs company, so he has to cheat on his girlfriend.
If anything, Ramona is selfish for getting upset. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, Ramona, I may be getting ahead of myself here, but Ramona actually ends up breaking up with Popko because of this, which, like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's like...
All he wanted was companionship while his girlfriend was away in Japan.
He wrote you a poem?
Yeah.
Do you know how much effort
honestly,
it takes?
Ramona,
You have to Google rhyming dictionary?
I'm partial to Rhyme Zone, but...
Well, to be fair, every time I've Googled rhyming dictionary, Rhyme Zone is the first thing that pops up.
Rhyme Zone!
That's entirely true. But, you know... Ramona,
we have no affiliation with Rhyme Zone.
I don't know.
We're just fans of the product.
But, like,
helpful.
come on, Ramona, like, you're really gonna dump Popko? I mean... What? It's not like you're gonna go to Japan and meet a nice Japanese boy, possibly in a pop band. Wink.
Yep. We've seen this show before. When we were watching the episode, after she breaks up with Popko, and she's like, what am I gonna do now? I said, I bet she's not gonna meet some mysterious Japanese boy. And I think Tyler, who's the only one of us who hasn't seen the show before, said like, oh no. And we're like, no, you gotta hold on. You gotta hold on. If this might be the first he's hearing that it's a Japanese pop star, but
I'm sure Tyler.
But
is,
we
like,
won't get too into it.
Out.
We are just.
Again, you'll have to watch our episode next week to find out.
Yeah, this episode wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad.
That's where you can put in the thing from the beginning, Tyler. That's where it is.
Get ready for some racism. This episode wasn't bad, and there's a lot to talk about in this episode, but. The next episode is so batshit insane.
Oh yeah, it's
just seeping into our minds.
We're gonna have to devote a lot of time to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ramona breaks up with Popko because he's an ass. Although maybe he's not. I don't know. Like look at it from his perspective. And she says, which is truth, that she deserves better.
Yes.
But then, she's sad because her relationship just ended and her boyfriend cheated on her.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't. He said he wanted to cheat on her.
That's true.
He asked for permission.
True. So, like, Popko did nothing wrong. He asked.
Yeah, hashtag Popko did nothing wrong. He asked for permission to cheat on his girlfriend.
He asked
for permission to cheat on his girlfriend.
Oh, my God.
Because he was going to miss her, because he cares about her. He wanted to have an open, honest
maybe
communication.
Popko just wants an open relationship.
Yeah, this is a thing.
Yeah.
Ramona, you could really stand to be a little bit more progressive.
Yeah, Ramona, maybe you can be there for Popko sometimes.
Yeah.
Look, men are not obligated to try to understand you. You are obligated to try to understand men. That's just how the world works, Ramona.
Exactly.
That was sarcastic. That's a shitty thing to say or believe.
Yeah.
Just wanted to put
Turbo
that out
Jeff
there.
does not actually promote these ideas.
Turbo Jeff doesn't condone misogyny. Put that on a t-shirt.
Turbo Jeff does not condone misogyny.
I imagine I'm imagining this is like a PSA style. It's just Turbo Jeff riding in on like a skateboard wearing sunglasses. He does like a really sick kickflip and he's like, "Hey kids, Turbo Jeff here to tell you, don't be a misogynist."
Brought to you by Respect Women Juice.
Yep.
Drink up.
Side effects of Respect Women Juice include erectile dysfunction, loose stool. But please ask a doctor before using Respect Women Juice. Anyway, so Ramona breaks up with Popko even though he does nothing wrong.
Yes.
And then we kind of missed it, but there's something important with Kimmy, Steph, and DJ. DJ's freaking out a little bit. She's not.
DJ's kind of a
nothing's
mess.
Wrong, but she's a little off.
Uh-huh.
And Kimmy says that she's having trouble dealing with the fact that Steve is getting married.
Because Kimmy is a pot stirrer. Stirring that pot.
She's a bit of a pot stirrer, you guys. She's like, she mixes things up.
And so, to stir the pot, Kimmy decides to put Matt to the test. Or I should say, the quiz.
Yes.
A Buzzfeed quiz. Which, as we all know, is a perfect representation of how marriages work.
Yeah.
And a perfect predictor of how well your relationship will work. 100%, trust me. We are not sponsored by Buzzfeed. We just,
I have two things about this.
What?
yes.
One, yes, Kimmy says we'll use a BuzzFeed quiz to say if you should be with Matt or Steve. And also says that's how I decided to marry Fernando. And also to divorce Fernando. So
Yeah,
BuzzFeed, this is important to Kimmy. And two, what she ends up doing is not really a BuzzFeed quiz, it's a cosmopolitan quiz.
True.
It's not like, which Lord of the Rings character should you smooch?
Number 5 will surprise you.
Who, by the way, now that I've brought it up, I don't want to get too off track, but who from Lord of the Rings would you smooch?
Ooh, it's a good question.
Who's your LOTR smooch buddy?
Oh no, I'm in a bad
in
spot
terms of
here. I
personality.
haven't seen Lord of the Rings.
I feel like Aragorn is too obvious an answer.
Okay, you know what? I was too basic because I was going to say Aragorn because he's too perfect. Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. It's Aragorn.
Yeah.
I feel like Samwise Gamgee would cuddle really well.
Yes. Sam would be great. Frodo would be a wonderful twink.
Frodo's a twink. Oh, God. Tom Bombadil.
Oh, yeah. Tom Bombadil.
It's Tom Bombadil. Zach, it's okay. We came up with the answer. It's Tom Bombadil.
Oh yes, Tom Bombadil.
Oh, Tyler, I didn't
Lord
see
of the
that you
Rings.
texted Tom Bombadil. I said that completely independently.
from Lord of the Rings, a series that I've totally seen.
I just... Again, I do want to reiterate, Tyler texted us Tom Bombadil. I did not see that. Tyler and I had a bit of a mind meld situation. But guys, I think we should follow Kimmy's example. We have found a quiz. Which guy from Fuller House do you belong with? Steve, Jimmy, or Fernando?
Ooh.
Oh, I'm taking this quiz.
Wait, yeah.
I'm taking this quiz too. I think we should do it on air.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's do this.
Now, I have a question. I feel like we should only do it once on air just because I feel like it's going to get boring otherwise. Should I read mine aloud as you two also do it, or should we do it collectively
we should all do it
to see who we would date as a quadruple?
Ooh.
As a quadruple.
I like that idea.
Ooh, that's a good idea. I like that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, I have it up on my phone right now.
I
if you guys
have it
want
up
me to
as
do
well.
Okay.
Which job would you like your partner to have? Doctor, photographer, race car driver, or writer?
Gee, I wonder what the connection is.
I wonder what the connection is. Just 4 completely regular jobs. Doctor, photographer, writer, and very famous race car driver.
Ooh.
Which we all know, no one from Fuller House is a race car driver. We would have known. They would have told us.
I want you to answer it honestly. Of the 4, which is the one?
Okay, if I may make... I know we want to go race car driver, but if I may make a pitch against it
Okay.
real quick.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you're a race car driver, you're going around the world, you're racing cars, you're constantly improving your craft. You don't have time for a relationship.
I feel like there's something about a photographer. I feel like, we'd go to exotic places. I'd learn to see the beauty in the world.
Yeah.
Plus, free photo shoots whenever you want.
That's true. I do find myself in need of a lot of photo shoots.
Doctor, though, would be very reliable, very good, and he cares about people.
That's true. I just my mom and dad are both doctors. It feels like, I don't know if I just want to, I love doctors. I mean, my mom and dad are both doctors, but I'm leaning photographer.
Hold on. It's really just, do we want the photographer or do we want to secure the bag with our doctor husband?
Secure the bag.
Secure the bag. Look, we're trying to marry rich here.
I am...
So what is it? Is it we want to learn to see the beauty in the world, or we want that fucking money?
Well, if we have that fucking money, we can go and see the beauty in the world.
Exactly. I'm with
Okay,
Harrison
so are
on
we
this
going?
one, 100%.
We're going doctor. We're gonna look for a
Yes.
doctor.
Yes.
A nice
the Judaism
doctor.
between the 3 of us is really I'm sure we're making your Jewish parents all very proud.
All right, I'm going...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going doctor.
I chose doctor. Which quality do you prefer in a partner?
Ooh.
Humor, good cook, charisma, or loving?
Ooh, that's so
Well, okay,
nice.
I'm gonna knock out humor because we're the funny one here.
Yeah, we're the funny one. We can't have someone.
We gotta be
competing.
very self-conscious. Yeah.
I'm very insecure. I can't handle that.
Yeah, I can't handle not being the funny one in my relationship.
Turbo Jeff can't handle that. Like loving just seems like I feel like just gut like what I'd want in a partner.
That feels like the obvious answer.
Right.
Although good cook would be nice, but I feel like loving's like the obvious answer.
I mean, like I like charisma. I like all of these, but I'm leaning towards loving. What do we
I
think?
feel like loving's like the cornerstone of any relationship.
Yeah. How would you want your significant other to propose?
Okay.
In front of family and friends? In the streets after watching a musical?
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Something extra. Or on the monitor at a football game.
Okay, well, let's
Some of these
immediately
seem pretty
scratch off
extra.
on the monitor at a football game, right?
I was immediately going to scratch that
Yeah.
off. I feel like in front of family and friends, that's this whole thing of like proposals in public. There's the whole thing of like, do you want that? Because then there's the pressure of like saying yes. And if I'm being proposed to, like,
It also feels like a very intimate moment if you're in front of your family and your friends. It's like you're surrounded by people you love, and it's not like a big public display.
I love that, but I think I'd want the moment to just be kind of like the two of us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're down to in the streets after watching a musical or something extra, which I would argue proposing in the streets after watching a musical is pretty extra.
That is pretty extra.
Yeah, a lot of these are pretty extra. So is the football game one.
Didn't they get this? Didn't they get in the streets after watching a musical from Fuller House? Isn't that how Steve proposes?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to
later on?
watch and find out. Harrison, that's a spoiler.
I don't know. Maybe.
Spoilers. Also spoilers that I don't even remember. So
Yeah, same.
Okay. I'm thinking something extra.
Harrison's voting something extra.
I don't know. I'm still kind of in the boat of in front of family and friends, but I'm willing to go with one of the other ones as well.
Oh, I was arguing not in front of family and friends.
I know.
Just to sort of eliminate one.
Okay.
You know what? I'll do something extra as well, only because it kind of covers all of them.
Yeah, why not? Let's just go for it.
Okay, which tux do you prefer? This is a purely
Oh,
visual
God, we weren't
one.
prepared for this. There were visual ones.
Oh, no.
I have it in front of me.
We've got pinstripes. We've got a bow tie. I like there's a classic tux, which I kind of like.
The top left?
Yeah, there's a classic tux.
Yeah, top
there's
left.
the guy with the bow tie. Yeah, the dude with the bow tie.
We're doing that?
Okay.
Easy choice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Easy choice for me.
I was personally going to go pinstripe, but obviously tux is great.
Pinstripes are good too, but
I'm totally good with that answer.
Choose another Netflix
last question.
show.
Yeah, choose another Netflix show. Outer Banks, Stranger Things, Ozark, Dead to Me.
I haven't seen any of these, so you guys pick.
Stranger Things is the only one I've seen.
Any of them.
So because I've seen any of them, and I've only seen one.
So by default, are we going Stranger Things?
What?
Wait, Mark. I want to point out, I've also pulled it up on my phone, and I've been entering in the same answers, and I got Jimmy.
What?
I got Fernando.
What is up with this?
What? The beginning of this quiz says Steve, Jimmy, or Fernando. There are 3 options.
And they gave us all of them?
We all answered the same things. Why
did we fucking do this?
Wait, so we all answered the same exact things, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What
I cannot believe it. We answered in the same answers for every single thing, and we got Jimmy. No, I got Jimmy, but we got all 3.
We're right
That's
back
amazing.
where we started.
Wait. What does it
love
say for
this.
yours? Mine says you can be extra at times and you're selfish when you want to be. Despite that, people still love and accept you for who you are. And then it says Netflix for some reason, and then it shows Fernando.
Yeah, mine also has a Netflix at the end. And a
Mine
picture
says
of Jimmy.
you hide a lot of things from people, but you love to eat and you're a great cook. Netflix.
Mine says, for Jimmy, you're an absolute goofball, and everyone loves you. Sometimes you're easily stressed, but you always find a way to get through it. Netflix.
So this is just a lie.
What the fuck is wrong with this quiz?
Well, I think looking at the only commonality between all of them, I think we have to date Netflix.
Ooh.
Yes.
A physical
I choose
representation of
Netflix.
I choose myself.
We have to date Netflix, guys.
I'm sorry. I can't get over the fact that we did the exact same answers all three of us, and somehow got 3 completely different results.
They
How the fuck
bamboozled
does that
us.
happen,
Anyway,
BuzzFeed?
guys,
Why?
we
Okay.
still have like more than half of
God.
the episode to
Yeah.
go through.
I know, but that was a fucking wild ride. Okay.
I don't
Go for it,
regret
Turbo
doing
Jeff.
it. That was
I
that
don't
was a
regret it.
ride.
That was wonderful.
But yeah, Fernando shows up and he's in a very nice suit.
Yes.
Because Fernando's gonna get into first class.
Yes.
Of course.
He as he says,
Oh,
he
yeah.
is notoriously cheap.
Fernando
But he always flies
class.
first
He
class.
yes, and his method is he wants to fly first class, but he doesn't want to pay for a first class ticket. So what he does is he dresses to impress, which, by the way, not notoriously cheap. Just want to point that
Fernando
out.
lives a very extravagant lifestyle. I
Yeah.
don't know if he's been established as
Yeah.
notoriously cheap. You're right.
Yeah.
And then he goes up to a flight attendant, and gives them a sob story of why he should be in first class, and then he's in the
Yep.
first class.
And he taunts Max.
And he tells this to Max, which is a
because he
bad
taunts
idea.
Max for not being in first class and says, "We get ice cream sundaes," and you see an evil look spread across Max's face.
Really, I know we keep mentioning the unspoken rivalry between Max and Fernando, but it actually is a plot point this
It's
episode.
text. I don't know why we didn't
Yeah.
notice it on our first watch through.
Yeah. We didn't
Yes,
really care
that is
so
entirely
much.
true.
It was
Thank you,
weird.
Turbo Jeff.
And anyway, also the next wild thing that happens is Steph has like 10 3-ounce bottles on the counter, and DJ's like, what do you have those for? And she says, well, you're only allowed to bring in 3 ounces of liquid per container on a plane, so I have these. And I thought I was like, oh, how much shampoo does Stephanie need?
Nope.
And she pulls out a bottle of wine. Steph.
Steph is a mess.
Also,
Steph's a mess.
if you wanted to get drunk on the plane, they have bottles for that, like little liquor bottles.
Yeah, but she's not
Yeah,
paying
but
extra
she is
for that.
notoriously
She's
cheap.
notoriously cheap, like Fernando.
Yeah,
She got a
exactly.
full bottle of wine and just pours it everywhere.
Yeah, rather than she needs
Listen, modern problems require
she needs
modern
to
solutions.
drink a full bottle of wine on the plane. She's not going to pay for like 15 little bottles of wine.
Not wine. Like, wait, wouldn't you just get like a little thing of whiskey and just like there, you're done, easy.
Well, she's a wine drinker, Harrison.
Okay.
She doesn't like whiskey.
Yeah.
We should also mention
Yeah, Steph's the
during
wine
this
ant.
whole thing, Kimmy wants Steph to tell Jimmy that she's going through with, using a surrogate and having a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants Jimmy to be the donor.
Kimmy wants Jimmy to be the donor. Steph is unsure about it. I feel like she should, whether or not Jimmy is the donor, she should have told Jimmy about all this.
Yeah, you should talk about this with your boyfriend.
Steph.
That adds
Instead
so
of
much.
drinking all the time. Instead of getting drunk.
Oh my god.
Take some responsibility, Steph.
Whoa.
Really just roasting Steph right now.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, there's also a scene where Kimmy finds Jimmy very sad and says, Steph told you she doesn't want you to be the father? And he says, no, I burned a Pop-Tart. What? So Jimmy's upset and insecure.
Also, not the first thing that's burned this episode, because the scene where DJ is a mess, she keeps like misplacing her passport and random things. She puts it in the freezer and she puts it in the toaster, which I think really balances it out. Like she froze it and then burnt it, so it's like back to normal now.
It's hot and it's cold. It's yes and it's no.
She saved it. She saved it from
Thank you,
being
Turbo
burned
Jeff.
by putting it in the freezer first.
Exactly. How considerate.
But they're discussing Matt and Steve again. Matt shows up and says his famous catchphrase, "Konnichiwa, what's up?"
Hey, you thought that I was just an idiot when I did that intro. No, Matt did it
Say it
first.
with me, everyone. Is this
that
racist? It'll be synced up in
But-
post.
Jimmy's putting him through the ringer. She's trying to see if he, is listening to DJ, which he does not remember her weird dream that she told him about raccoons.
Exactly. What a
Yeah.
bad partner.
Is he considerate? Does he notice things about her? He does not notice her highlights, and when he hears that her neck is stiff, he just asks for a neck rub himself. He is not doing well. No. But who should show up? But apparently my ideal soulmate, according to Buzzfeed, Dr. Stephen Hale. Dr. Stephen Hale, who immediately notices her highlights. He brought her a neck pillow because her neck gets sore, and he did research on her crazy dream. And guys, I don't know if you knew this, but raccoons symbolize deceit. So she's probably lying to herself about something. There's something she's not admitting to herself.
Ooh.
Which I actually liked that they kind of tied in that joke to genuinely what's going on with DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Mac comes back and he's got a very nice gift basket that's very considerate. And he's listening to her and everything.
Yeah, he knows she likes lavender. He got all her favorite snacks. And he got her medicine for motion sickness. Very nice.
Yeah. Because she gets motion sick.
Oh, yeah.
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 Very concerned. Good dude. We got a tight race going on here between the two.
Exactly. Team Matt and Team Steve are like neck and neck, except for like the whole thing about them going to Steve's wedding with another woman. Ignore that. Ignore that. And they're neck and neck.
Steve is engaged to another woman.
But like, if we ignore that.
Yeah. What are weddings but a small obstacle to overcome?
He looks perfect. What's the problem?
But anyways, there's a scene where they're about to leave. Fernando's coming out in his suit and his sunglasses. But who else were to come out in the same suit and sunglasses and carry on luggage? But this small boy, Max Fuller.
Max?
In the same exact outfit and everything.
I love how they looked at each other like, all right, let the best man win. But we already know that the small child is going to have way more pull than Fernando. Yeah.
Than this adult man.
Who would garner your sympathy? Small child or fully adult man?
Well, the fully adult man is a famous race car driver.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's weird that nobody ever recognizes him.
Yeah.
Then again, it's not like I or many people I know their favorite, Formula One race car drivers.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's true, but he establishes
I
he
think
is
it's
a
also
very
a bigger
famous race
thing
car
internationally than it is in America.
This is true.
Because I think I have a roommate who is into Formula One, and I don't believe there are any American drivers in Formula One currently.
No, I think I'm remembering a different joke, but I was like, when they go over to Japan, is Fernando super famous?
No, you're thinking of
I don't think
else.
so. What I'm remembering is I think there's a joke next episode where Uncle Jesse is on a billboard.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah. But they should have done Fernando is super famous in Japan.
That would be great.
I think there is a plot point like later in some random episode where someone recognizes Fernando.
Yes, there is.
I think so.
That is a
thing. There has to be.
By the way, the rivalry between Max and Fernando, I think we realized kind of what our spinoff for this episode should be.
Yes.
Which is they're rebooting Frasier, but they should do a remake of Frasier starring Max and Fernando.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, think of all the puns and the cattiness.
Yeah, that would be so much fun. Yeah.
We should also say, and I only bring this up because I think you had a very good line about this, Harrison, where Kimmy sees that something's wrong with Ramona and she wants to comfort her, but Ramona's saying that she's fine. But she says, no, you have to cry. And so Ramona cries and says, I feel so terrible. And you said in this scene that Ramona has strong protagonist energy.
Oh, yeah.
Which we keep referring to her as a character that deserves to be on a better show. And I think that's what it is. She has strong protagonist energy.
Yeah.
Like she really should be the protagonist of her show.
Also, being like the biggest outsider in the family and that she's not related to the Fullers and entered the family most recently. She's kind of like perfect choice for the protagonist of this show, being like the newcomer in the household.
But no, Harrison, we gotta focus on the characters everybody knows and loves from Full House. Remember Full House?
This gotta be about DJ.
Full House! Holy crap!
But Jimmy goes to Steph and asks, why can't I be your baby daddy? Is it because I'm not a genius or an artist or a notary public? He doesn't have a cool... He's just a photographer who gets his work published all over the place.
Yeah, he's not
cool like a notary public.
I do want to know who some of these people are. Just sending out their sperm into the world. Like, do we have like Michael Jordan trying to get his last sperm out? That would be great.
It's Jimmy's very sweet in this episode,
He's
and
great.
I think it should be acknowledged. He's very sweet, very heartfelt.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we love our good boy, Jimmy Gibbler.
Love our good, hot himbo, Jimmy Gibbler.
Yes.
There are a couple of other beats in this scene where they're leaving, but they're not really important. Grandpa shows up to take care of Tommy. Max says goodbye to Cosmo. I don't think there's anything more to say about
Yeah,
either
it's
one of
fine.
We have a lot.
And then they go on a plane, and Fernando and Steve are there, and they're like, all right, Fernando, Steve's like, all right, Fernando, we gotta go to the back of the plane where our seats are. And Fernando's like, you go on ahead. I'll be in first class. And then he goes to a flight attendant and says his little sob story. He's like, my Japanese grandmother is very sick, and the only thing that could make me feel better is a seat in first class.
Which begs the question, is Fernando a really bad liar? Because that was not a well-constructed lie.
No.
Well, okay, he also implies at the beginning of the episode that this works for him on a consistent basis. So I don't think it's Fernando. I don't think it's like Fernando being a good liar. I think it's just he just has very good luck with flight attendants who just buy his bullshit.
That's true. I'm just saying in this moment, my issue is not like, oh, that works. My issue is like, Fernando, you couldn't come up with something better than just the only thing that'll make me feel better is a
Also
seat in
fair.
He
first
usually
class.
slips them a 50, but he forgot it,
Yes.
and he just has to rely on the lie this time. It just didn't work.
Usually he shows off his killer dance moves.
No, Harrison, he wouldn't slip them a 50. He's notoriously cheap.
That's true. $50 for a first class seat.
Harrison, he's
What am
your
I,
dream
made of
husband.
money?
You should know him better.
I'm gonna go back and put in the exact same answers again and see if I get something different.
Oh, yes.
I
So-
can't
I'm
believe we
just
all put in
doing
the
it,
same
yeah.
answers and got three different things.
I know it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, Turbo Jeff.
Thank
But
you.
he goes to the flight attendant and he's like,
I got
I'd love to
Steve
do it.
again.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming it's probably just like
Random.
I think it's just no matter what happens, it's just gonna cycle through. Like you get Steve, and then the next person who takes it gets Jimmy, and then the next person who takes it gets Fernando, and then it loops back to Steve.
Yes.
It's the only thing that I can think of that like makes sense.
I like this supposition that could be true, that we're the only three people in the world doing this quiz.
Yeah. But yeah. So Fernando goes to the flight attendant, gives his little sob story. He's like, can I get a seat in first class? And the flight attendant's like, no, unfortunately, I would give you the seat in first class, but we just gave it to this small child who doesn't have long to live. And who is this small child? But
Is it Tommy?
one sharply dressed Max Fuller. And it is not Tommy.
Max?
Dun, dun, dun.
Max? He's not sick.
I'm very confused because he's not sick.
Is Max lying?
Is Max a good liar?
He comes out eating an ice cream sundae, and Fernando's like, what? You can't give it to him. That small child is not sick. He's not gonna die. And Max goes, not without a fight, I'm not. Which is like, Max is a good liar.
That was a good exchange.
That was really
a
good.
good exchange, and Max is thinking on his feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do love that it
very
didn't
good.
resort to the very cliched line of, how dare you say that? And then, like, kicking
Yeah.
him off the plane or something hyperbolic like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Fernando didn't get to go to Japan, what would we do?
No. What would happen is Fernando gets kicked off the plane, but he sneaks on through like the cargo hold or
Yes.
something. Or I'm just imagining he's like hanging off the side of the wing for the entire flight to
It
Japan.
becomes the Twilight
just-
Zone episode
Yeah, I was
where
about
the-
to
with
say,
the gremlin on the wing.
Steve,
He finds a way.
it's just Steve going, there's a man on the wing.
It's Fernando.
Or it's just William Shatner, like straight out of the Twilight Zone
Yeah,
episode. He just
God.
comes out.
William Shatner, who also
they should
happens
have
to be on
brought
this
William
flight.
Shatner on to Fuller House just so Fernando could be on the wing. There's
Yeah.
a man on the wing.
But yeah, the plane takes off. Fernando goes to the back, feeling defeated, with all the crying babies in the smelly bathroom. And the plane takes off.
Yeah.
And a bunch of shit goes down
Imagine
on the
if
plane.
you will.
Bunch of shit
Imagine if
goes
you
down.
will. You're in the middle of space. don't know which way is up, down, left, or right. All you know is the scary door. That's my impersonation of that. It's probably not good, but
It's pretty good.
Pretty
good.
Thank you.
Portrait of a frightened man. Mr. Robert Wilson, 37, husband, father, and salesman on sick leave. Mr. Wilson has just been discharged from a sanitarium where he spent the last 6 months recovering from a nervous breakdown. I'm leading to something here. The onset of which...
We believe in you, Turbo Jeff.
The onset of which took place on an evening not dissimilar to this one, on an airliner, very much like the one in which Mr. Wilson is about to be flown home. The difference being that, on that evening half a year ago, Mr. Wilson's flight was terminated by the onslaught of his mental breakdown. Tonight he's traveling all the way to his appointed destination, which, contrary to Mr. Wilson's plan, happens to be in the darkest corner of the Fuller house. I wanted to bring up the real narration. I did not realize how long it was going to be.
It's okay, Turbo Jeff.
It's always way longer or way shorter than you expect. I watched a lot of
Right?
Twilight Zone over October. Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry to...
So anyway, we have Matt proposing to Stephanie, but not really.
He shows Stephanie the ring.
Matt goes over to Stephanie and Kimmy, asks Kimmy to switch seats because he needs to talk to Steph about something.
Yeah.
And he shows Steph the ring.
Which Stephanie takes as a marriage proposal to her.
Oh, Stephanie's also about like 6 shampoos in right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. She's drunk as hell. Yeah.
Which I appreciate that. That was a good joke in this show. They keep referring to how many shampoos they've had.
Yeah.
She's 6 shampoos in. She's a little buzzed. We should also mention before this, Jimmy ran on the plane.
Yes, I forgot to mention that. Jimmy ran on the plane and he was like, "Stop this plane. I need to get on board," despite already being on board.
Yes, it was very good. He's very good. "Stop this plane. I need to get on board." "You are on board." "Well, I've been saying that since the taxi." And to prove himself as an ideal father, he shows that he is smart by solving a Rubik's Cube. He's an artist and he plays the flute. And then, perhaps the greatest feat of all, he notarizes something.
Oh.
I also want to point out, I believe, IMDb trivia again, on the plane, Jimmy pretends to play the flute, but is actually holding the instrument incorrectly.
Oh, no.
He lied to us. Our good sweet boy, Jimmy Gibbler, lied to us.
Perhaps Jimmy is the best liar of all.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
But he very sweetly says, "There is no one who would love you or that baby more than I would." And Steph agrees to let Jimmy be the father.
Yay.
And it's very sweet. Jimmy's very funny and heartfelt and sweet. I just really liked Jimmy in this episode. I have to have it be said.
Yeah.
But I bring this up here because we're talking about how many shampoos Steph is...
Oh, I was going to say Jimmy does that, and then everyone clapped. Not really, just DJ clapped. Which is weird, because the whole thing, everyone was clapping the entire time, except the very end when it's just DJ, and it's like, what? Why is it just... You all were so on board
I know,
with this
everybody was
before.
on board, and then... Look, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Yeah, they just leave DJ out to dry at the climactic moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Tough plane. Also, 2 things, which I do bring this up here because we were talking about how many shampoos Steph has had, and hey Steph, this is a big decision. Maybe take into account how many shampoos you've taken.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a good decision. Jimmy's so sweet and he cares about you and you're dating him.
I mean, maybe she didn't drink them yet. It's a long
That's
flight.
true.
She gotta
That's
save
true.
up her
Ooh,
shampoos.
she got through 6 shampoos in like 2 minutes.
She's just plowing through them.
Yeah, she's plowing through those shampoos. But also, my other thing is, in part to prove his worth, Jimmy shows the plane his abs.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're very good.
And the flight attendant is very much into these abs.
Yeah, he says, maybe we need to see the abs again to see if you're going to be a good father. I didn't mean to interrupt you with all that. I just thought the one thing about the shampoos was pertinent, and then there's a lot that happens in that interaction.
Yeah. And then, so yeah, they do the thing with Matt's going to propose to DJ, and then Steve comes up to Kimmy again and asks her to switch seats again because Kimmy needs to calm down Fernando.
And
he is not having fun.
Fernando is not having fun. But also, DJ decided she wants to go to sleep. So before Steve comes over, she put on, a sleep mask and headphones so she doesn't know that they switched seats.
Yes, important to mention. And once they switched seats, DJ immediately, as if on cue, was like, "Oh, Kimmy, I don't know. Maybe I should have told Steve that I was gonna pick him over Matt." And Steve's in the background like, What? What? You were gonna pick me over Matt? He doesn't actually say anything.
Yeah, he just sits
but like,
there.
if he did, he would have. Yeah.
Yeah, and DJ's like, I bet if Steve knew this, he'd be freaking out. And he's like, yeah, huh? But he doesn't say it out loud.
And then the episode goes all dramatic. And it's basically just like,
Yeah.
Will Fernando survive the flight? What will happen to Steve and CJ's wedding now that Steve knows DJ's true feelings for her? Will Matt propose? Will Max finish his 4th ice cream sundae of the flight? All these questions and more answered on the next episode of Fuller House.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Fuller House. Musical bits.
And that's the episode.
Yeah, which we should mention, it's not just like dramatically showing all of them. It zooms out in a grid of these storylines.
Yeah.
We have them side by side, and then it goes back.
It's very odd.
It's a very weird moment.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. Yeah, we're going to go from something very unconventional for the show at Fuller House to something very conventional on Fullest House, which is everyone's favorite segment, Sad Boy of the Week.
Yay!
Yay! Tyler, insert like applause there after I said Sad Boy of the Week. Thank you. So,
as we know, our usual sad king, J Money, is not eligible.
No.
Really,
no,
this
he was
episode.
in one
He wasn't
scene.
super
It was
sad.
a very good. It was a pretty sad scene,
pretty
but
sad.
I think he doesn't really show up at all the entire rest of the
I
episode.
might
which
give him a
really,
cursory nomination.
Okay, but I mean, but he's not winning.
But I don't think he's going to take it. He's not going to take it.
Yeah, I think the one that I've had in mind this entire episode are our good sweet boy Fernando Hernandez Guerrero. Fernandez Guerrero.
Yeah, it's Fernando. That's who I thought.
Definitely Fernando.
It's Fernando.
Yeah.
Should I run
I
through
mean, do
his...
we want to mention? I think Steph's also worth a nomination
Ooh, Steph?
because she is just a mess.
Yeah.
Steph's worth a nomination,
Yeah, she's a good one this episode.
It's a good one. Matt? Do you think Matt at all?
It could be
He was
Matt.
a little bumbling, but then he redeemed
He was
himself.
bumbling at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then he kind of he
redeemed
stuck the
himself.
landing.
Yeah.
It's true.
And Steve was
Though,
just perfect,
might I
so-
also bring up though, Konichiwaza.
Okay, there we
Ooh,
go. Yeah.
Like it's a very good start, but then he kind of like it's like one of those things. Matt had a really good start at the beginning of the episode, but then as it went along, he just started dropping the ball. He started becoming a more respectable human being.
Right.
This is
Which,
true.
that's not what we're honoring here on Sad Boy of the Week.
Yep.
I do like to think that after he realized he was in hot water with his questions, he didn't just run to his car. He ran with super speed to the nearest convenience store, bought all of those nice things, and ran back as fast as he could, panting like a wet dog.
If we didn't make it clear, Matt is fully aware this is a test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after he fails the test, he runs out and comes back in with the perfect recovery.
Yeah.
Kimmy also makes it very obvious.
Yeah, she's doing it right in front of him. Anyway, but yeah, we have Fernando and Steph. Should I go through it?
Go for it.
Okay, Steph has not told her boyfriend, who she's been with for a while and definitely cares about. It's fine if she's not sure she wants him to be the father, but she hasn't even discussed the fact that she wants to have a baby now with him, apparently.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think the next really sad thing is just shampoo.
Yep.
Yeah, the shampoo it's a big
She
one. Though.
brings like 10 3-ounce bottles.
Well, I think we all had a visible reaction to the shampoos being introduced.
Literally gets a funnel out to pour the wine in.
Yeah, I was not expecting wine,
Yeah.
is the thing.
Yeah. And then Fernando.
I do want to say she has to have all that wine on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
She makes big life decisions while maybe drunk. And then just continues to get very drunk on the plane. Thinking that her sister's long-term boyfriend is proposing to her.
Mm-hmm.
when she has other things going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yep. Fernando. Before he even shows up in the episode, we find out that the only reason that his wife married him was because she took a BuzzFeed quiz.
Yep.
Yes.
And that is also what caused her to divorce him.
Maybe that's what. No, I think we've. Hold on. I think that we've just exposed BuzzFeed quizzes here because I'm guessing what happened. Kimmy took the same BuzzFeed quiz twice.
Yeah.
So like the first one said marry him, and the second one said don't marry him. So Kimmy was like, oh shit, guess I gotta divorce him now.
I guess I've changed and BuzzFeed is the same.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Hold on. I just realized something. So she took that BuzzFeed quiz before marrying Fernando, which means she must have taken it like however old Ramona
when did
is
BuzzFeed
years
Yeah, wait,
ago.
that's true.
Quizzes, yeah.
That's entirely true.
And so she took that quiz in like the
In, like,
year
the 90s.
Yeah,
in like
how
2001
old
or
is
something.
Ramona? They had to say BuzzFeed instead of Cosmo.
Yeah.
I just like, come on. Like
the late 90s, early 2000s.
This was a
at
Cosmo
the
quiz,
earliest.
and I get you're trying to be contemporary, but that was a Cosmo quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would have dispelled so many questions. I'm not going to get into Studio 60, but it's like in Studio 60 where we're following a show that's basically Saturday Night Live, and it's all fine until they're like, oh, also Saturday Night Live exists in this universe. And you're like, what? Then what the fuck is Studio 60? Anyway, how does that make any sense? Anyway, Fernando then comes in wearing a suit because he has his master plan where he physically cannot fly coach, but he also refuses to pay for first class because, as he says, he is notoriously cheap. He tells all this to a child, his archenemy. He then gets his seat swiped from him by the child.
Who has a matching suit.
Which also we should again note that
Also matching luggage.
matching luggage. Also that Fernando had taunted this child. No reason to do that, Fernando. That's a child. That's an 8-year-old. You don't have to be mean to an 8-year-old for no reason. Said he's like, Coach, boy.
Welcome back to Turbo Jeff's PSA. Don't be mean to children.
Don't be mean to children. Look, Mark might hate babies, but Turbo Jeff,
But Turbo Jeff
is
loves
all in
babies.
on babies. Also, Fernando is a terrible liar and tells a lie that definitely would not have worked if, I guess, everybody wasn't the most understanding person, because there's no implication that it wouldn't have worked. The flight attendant's just like, oh, that's a very believable and good story. Problem is, this kid just got the last first class seat. So maybe he would have gotten the seat,
He could have.
which is just as baffling to me.
Yeah, that flight attendant is dumb.
Yep.
Yeah, but now he's stuck in the very back of coach next to the bathroom
Yeah.
and some crying children.
That's the next thing. He gets stuck next to a bathroom and crying babies.
Literally the worst possible thing.
Oh, yeah.
And is handling it so badly that Steve needs to switch seats. He needs his wife. Fernando needs his wife
Where is
by
his wife?
side.
Why isn't he flying? Why isn't Steve flying over with his wife?
That's true. Why isn't CJ here?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah. Steve, where is your wife? Your
Maybe
fiance,
she
I
showed
should
up
say.
early in Japan because her family is
Yeah,
there.
we find out, again, not to get too ahead of ourselves, we find out next episode her
Her
family's
family's in the
Japanese.
Yakuza.
Don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. So maybe she went early and she's with family or something. But Fernando also is handling this so poorly that when Steve says we need to switch seats, Kimmy hears a loud like, "Wah, ah," and she's like, whoa, those babies are loud. And Steve goes, that's Fernando.
Yes.
He is not having a good time because a child interrupted his master plan.
And for that reason, I think I don't want to speak for you guys.
No, Fernando.
But I think
It's
Fernando. It's a pretty cut and dry. Fernando is our sad boy. of the
Fernando's
season,
sad.
which, fun fact, now puts him in second place out of the tie. Well, there was a 3-way tie for second. Fernando winning has now broken said tie and moved him up to second. However, he is still 2 behind J Money, but we still have a lot more Fuller House to
It
go.
really is shaking out more or less how we thought it might.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, looking through again, it's like J Money at first, Fernando at second, third is now a tie between Steve and Steph, It's pretty much how we thought it was gonna
I think
out.
Steph has been the wild card, but yeah.
You know, following the wedding episode, there's a lot of episodes in this season that might put DJ and or Steve back in the race.
This is true.
I remember we had a big stretch at the beginning where every episode Steve was in, he took home Sad Boy of the Week.
Yeah.
So we'll see. So you guys will just have to stay tuned and watch more of our podcast to find out what happens next in this exciting Sad Boy race.
But I think, do we have anything else? That's it?
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Yeah, and that should wrap us up. Thanks for listening, everybody. If you want to find us for more Fullest House content, please follow us at Fullest House Pod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And until next time...
We told you we'd get to that again.
And until next time, I'm Harrison Bloom.
I'm Zach Horowitz.
And I'm Turbo Jeff.
And may your houses be fuller, and may your notaries be public.